Okay, Cameron here. I'm going to make a recording, show you what I'm thinking about, work my way through. This is a rough draft, so I'm hoping for some good feedback and hoping my ideas make sense to everybody here. I am designing a game for an 8th grade technology education class. It is a unit in architecture combined with some computer-aided design or computer-aided drafting or drawing or CAD work. 8th graders can range anywhere from 12 to 14 years old. The game is going to be who built it, where, and what does it look like in Minnesota. Goals and outcomes. I'm going to add a few more into this that are tied into the CAD so students will be able to identify famous architects and structures they have designed. Also, I'm going to add in there some work about the CAD. So I just want to get into that. I might record a little bit. I'm using a PadCAD program. I can't show it on here from my iPad that I know of, so I might be able to find a way to do that so you guys could see that as well. So a little bit of the story. What I have done, here are the buildings. These are the hints the kids would get, so they could pre-research these and get an idea of them and what they look like ahead of time. So I'd like them to do that and do a little pre-work. Then they'll be in groups and it will be like a scavenger hunt. And as they get each question right, they get to progress to the next one. I've gone through and labeled these places on my Google account. They would have to go through and find them themselves. This one's right in Cloquet, just a few miles from my house. So what I would have them do is they can use their street view, and they could then look at these places. They could do screenshots of them to prove they found it, and then there'd be some questions like, or it might, who was the designer of this gas station, and what was special about its architecture, or get even more specific into it. But it would have to do with the architect. It would have to, the clues would be designed for them to search through and locate it and provide me the picture and the answers to the question before they could move on to the next step. So I've picked out the Frank Lloyd Wright station. Let's see if I hit back again. Go to my saved places. And some other ones just throughout Minnesota. I tried to keep it relatable to them so they could go to that. Once again, they can street view. And this, I can zoom out a little bit. Get some real look at the different architecture. Then as well, I went through and kind of made my answer key down here. This is where I would pull the questions from the description. So here is the house. Here's where I pulled the different content from the web page up here. And there's a different one for the Frank Lloyd Wright down here, the gas station. So we could pull some information out of here that the kids would have to then go and search about the person to find it. So I'd pull the questions out of here. They'd start searching. All the teams wouldn't have to be on the same one. So if this was number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, each team could be staggered as to where they start. So they're not all looking for the same one at the same time. Once they completed all 6 of these, found them, answered the questions about the architect, told me something special about the architecture, the location, all of those things. Then what I would have them do is they are going to have to design, meeting certain specifications on their PADCAD program, one of those structures. Okay, with the PADCAD structure, they would be able to draw it right on their iPad. It is a simple CAD program that they can go ahead and use this program to design that structure. All of my students right now have this on their iPads. It's a simple design program for drafting. You can see he just dropped a set of stairs on there. So they would have to design that project. I'd have them do the street view, so they could then bring me their street view, their picture that they took, the screenshot, and then they could compare it to what they designed in real life to meet the criteria. So that's how I'm kind of working through there. It would be a race. It would be a race with scoring. So the first part would be finding the appropriate names of the places, finding them, answering the questions about the place would be scored, and then they would also be scored on how complete their drawing was to matching the structure that they chose. So that's my rules. That's kind of my story that's going with the game. Different buildings, and it provides a little history at the same time. Looking for any feedback. Tell me your thoughts on that, how I can change it up, and I will improve it from there and start to make up my questions as I go. Thank you. Looking forward to the feedback.